There was a boy who had a very strange problem. Every time a random thought came into his mind, he reacted to it immediately. If the thought said, check your phone, he checked it. If the thought said, you are wasting time, he got anxious. If the thought said, what if you fail, he started overthinking. If the thought said, just do it later, he believed it. His mind was not quiet for even 1 minute. And the worst part was this: he thought all those thoughts were him, but they were not. Now tell me honestly, does this happen to you? Do random thoughts show up in your mind and you instantly believe them? Do you feel like your brain is controlling you instead of the other way around? If yes, then listen carefully, because this is where most people lose control. Here is the shock. Your brain does not tell the truth always. Yes, it helps you survive. Yes, it helps you think, but it also throws useless thoughts at you all day long. Some thoughts are smart, some are fear, some are habits, some are pure nonsense. And the problem is, most people react to every single thought as if it is a command. That is the trap. A thought comes in and immediately the body follows. A bad mood comes in and the whole day gets ruined. A fear comes in and the person freezes. An impulse comes in and control is gone. So how do you actually control your brain? First, understand this. You're not every thought you think. Read that again in your head. A thought is just a thought. It is not a fact. It is not a decision. It is not a mission. It is only a mental event passing through you. The moment you stop treating every thought like a truth, you get stronger. For example, your brain may say, do not stop, later is better, this is too hard, you will fail anyway. If you believe that voice every time, you will stay trapped. But if you learn to notice it and not obey it, everything changes. This is the real control. Not fighting every thought, not arguing with every thought, just seeing it and letting it pass. Think of your mind like a road. Thoughts are cars passing by. You do not have to jump into every car. You do not have to chase every one of them. You only need to watch them pass. That is the skill. Now here is another truth. Most impulses are temporary. That urges to check your phone, temporary. That sudden feeling to quit, temporary. That wave of fear, temporary. That random anger, temporary. But people make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings. That is why life gets messy. You must learn to create a small gap between the thought and the reaction. The gap is power. When thought comes, do not instantly move. Pause, breathe, notice it. Ask yourself, is this thought useful or is it just noise? That one question can save your focus. Because once you stop reacting instantly, your brain loses some of its power over you. And let me be clear, controlling your brain does not mean becoming emotionless. It does not mean killing feelings. It means you are no longer a slave for every impulse. You can feel something without obeying it. You can feel fear and still stay calm. You can feel lazy and still stay aware. You can feel distracted and still choose not to follow that distraction. That is maturity. That is real mental control. The man who controls his reactions is stronger than the man who thinks he has to follow every urge. Because urges are loud, control is quiet. Urges scream, do it now. Control says wait. Urges says run. Control says watch first. Urges says react. Control says not every thought decides a response. That is how the mind gets trained. Not by force, by awareness. Not by panic, by observation. Not by letting the brain drive. By sitting in the dirt seat yourself. The truth is simple. Your brain will always produce thoughts that partner stops. But your job is not to stop every thought. Your job is to stop obeying the wrong ones. That is where freedom begins. Next time a thought tries to control you, do this. Pause, notice it, do not panic, do not obey immediately. Let it pass, because you are not here to live like a puppet of your own mind. You're here to lead it, and the more you practice that, the quieter the chaos becomes, the louder your control gets, and the stronger you become. If you like this video, then subscribe it and like it.